Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Michael, what's up?
How you doing, pal?
Very well.
Good weekend?
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Lansing one day, grad party season, you know.
Oh, grad party season. What have you guys, what have you and Gab resolved to spend per gift for graduates?
Well, this was our niece, so I think we probably gave her a bit more than, and
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. I didn't
So
write
it's
the
a
check.
kid down the block that you've known a few years.
I don't.
You can give him less, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I think $100 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not some mafia family that's got to give like 10 grand.
Right.
You know, something like that.
Right.
$100 is very respectable.
And then, of course, Le Tour wrapped up today, Mike.
Oh, wow.
Watched some of that.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Sweet Pie got into Lord of the Rings.
Well,
so
it's meant for her.
We plowed through those over the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How did the Latour end? Were you satisfied?
Well, Le Tour always ends bit anticlimactic because the thing is pretty much.
Yeah, you're not really like. There's not like
It's
a
done.
finish line where it's
Well,
just
there-
like.
there is a
I mean,
finish line.
no, but I mean,
I was going to say,
There
wow, I
absolutely
don't
is.
but not
know
like a
anything
na-
about the Latour.
There
If I-
absolutely
but not
is
like a
finish line.
NASCAR race where it's like, dude, this is checkered flag. All their drivers are on the course, right? It's a time thing.
Because the time is cumulative. You pretty much know going into the final day. It turns out to be an exhibition. As long as the guy finishes the race, he's going to win it. Doesn't matter what place he's in on the
How
final
much did he
stage.
win
I don't
by?
like
do you
that at
know?
all.
I think he won by like 2 minutes, maybe just under 2 minutes.
I don't like that. I think they should have a fucking tape at the end, checkered flag, the whole works.
It's not how.
And he's got to
it can
cross
work.
that thing. Because I don't like this whole thing where he can come in last place on that day, but he's already
So a person who
accumulated enough time. I
doesn't
don't like
watch
this.
the tour wants
Well,
them to
I'm
do
a
strong
stuff.
What I'm
opinion.
learning
How to
about it,
change it.
yeah, I'm very strongly opinionated about this. I want some guy cruising
It's
across the finish line and raising his arms as he crosses the tape.
Yeah, the
know?
final stage is a sprint stage, and
Obviously,
you know, Garrett Thomas, the winner, is not necessarily a sprinter. So
See,
you know,
I would have thought he was
leave
a
that for the
sprinter.
sprinters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Too bad. That sounds like
What makes you
exciting,
think that
exciting
about him?
Well, just what I know about him.
What-
I'm not
which
going to
is?
get into it.
dude, I'm standing by it though. That's the best freaking sporting event on the
It's the
planet.
best wipeouts in a sporting event. to
Yeah.
watch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'll give you that. As far as watching it,
Oh.
though, you're into some weird sports, Jay. I got to be honest with you. Exciting weekend for all of us. E was doing some cool stuff. I went out to the Mopop, not the Mopop Festival. That's going on right now and yesterday downtown.
Yeah.
Big fucking event,
Hmm.
big shows, and you know I'm not crazy about the music type, but
Dude, you mentioned
But
that.
I think you don't.
Here's another thing that happened to me over the weekend. I went hardcore into a rabbit hole on EDM. I watched a considerable amount of Tomorrowland.
and
Dude, I can
your
respect
interest has been
it.
peaked
I
with
can
a Q for a while.
I can absolutely respect it.
yeah.
Yeah, Alan Walker was kind of a gateway drug for me, and I went in there,
Sure.
and then I ended up some K391 E.
Which I don't even know actually. to be honest
Solomon.
with you, but
What?
Ended up with the
Yeah.
Tiesto.
Tiesto.
set. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's off the hook.
Tiesto's one of
Fucking
the
off
best
the hook.
ever, man. No matter what
Yeah.
people think about him, he's one of the best.
No, I respect when I see like an
He's got an
East River
umlaut
part.
too. He's got an umlaut.
He does.
Tiesto,
Oh,
over the
excellent.
E.
Love it.
Yeah.
Wonder if he got that from Motley Crue or Lowenbrow. I do respect when I see E's favorite part, the beat drop when he gets a full body high, and it's
Yeah.
like just in that instance, the whole place goes fucking bananas,
Yeah.
and the lights and
Yeah.
the smoke and the foam parties.
Lasers.
I don't think you and I could go though. I think honestly, I think the strobes would be
Yes.
too much.
I'm close
Seriously.
to epileptic.
Yeah.
I'm on the border of being epileptic. I would actually like to go though, and
Yeah.
You have
close
to
my
go,
eyes.
You go in the day. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to go to the full-on night sets, I suppose, or you, as you said, you could close your eyes.
Well, I've done that at concerts where I don't know if you've seen this, where there's all of a sudden on the front of the stage,
One of the
it's-
1,000 you've been to.
sure, they've got those lights, and sometimes it's just like boom, all bright as shit, and then they'll go up, and it's like blinding. Or a concert where they do strobes, and I literally have to turn my head, like I can't. And you're worse than I am.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching those EDM videos, like little clips I've seen, E-Post or someone else, it's like, dude, I can't. I can hardly watch the screen.
No,
like
this
Kurt
shit, though,
Eichenwald or whatever.
Isis and I have talked about this. These guys who are the top DJs have figured out the formula that the pacing of it and the rhythm of it that worms its way into your head. And
Yeah.
it's just, there's something so hypnotic.
That's the
about
best
it.
word to work. That's the best way to describe
It's
it.
almost like it goes back to like tribal fucking cavemen
Yeah.
times or something, and it grabs something.
So you don't want to
primal
overbeat
in
drop.
you. Correct.
You need to build.
But there's something like fucking primal and basic to it
Yeah.
that literally they figured out like psychologically how to
That-
wrap you.
That's one of those. I'm not gonna try to get too nerdy, but that's one of the things that separates sometimes mainstream. The more mainstream versus less mainstream. The more mainstream they are, they will throw more beat drops in there because they know if they're that these young kids just want fucking that
Yeah.
over that. Whereas
Just
if,
a cheap party
if you
trick.
start right, where if you start getting down into like more serious, electric artists, they will build those up a little more, and it'll be a little, more art to it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
One of E's biggest claims to fame is being really late to the party. He's going to find something and people are go, yeah, dude, we've been into that for 10 years. They're like retired now that you're finding them. Do you really feel comfortable getting into something that E's been into 3 years now?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's got to be
don't
tough
care
for
about
you.
that.
Or you could just do things that you like and
Yeah.
not worry about that. Like, when does
Sure.
Jay care about what people think? I mean, if he's liking it, then what does it
point.
matter?
Good point. Well, the Mopop downtown, big event, 2-day festival, and they had these like kickoff parties, and Beth really wanted to go, and so she was like, any
Beth?
chance? Yeah.
Oh.
She's like, any chances? A while ago, she asked if I could get her a ticket for it, and I was like, I can make a media request and see what their deal is, and they gave me one. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, well, put it in her name. She'll be representing the Detroit cast. And so, anyway, they had like this big Friday night kickoff party at this dope ass hotel. I can't remember the name of it right now, downtown Detroit.
And Cadillac.
No, it wasn't the Cadillac. Shit. Look at my Facebook picture. It says the Foundation Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel down there. Beautiful. Anyway, so she was like, hey, there's a kickoff party at RSVP. Does she want to go? And I was like, fuck, why not? Check out that hotel. Looks sweet. I'll go check it out. So went down there and fucking hanging out with all these, there's got a band there playing and hors d'oeuvres and drinks and the whole works. And
Hat on backward.
no, I wasn't
No.
wearing a hat. No. I was
The
presentable.
Detroit Foundation Hotel.
Yeah,
I've never
it's
actually
cool.
heard of it, but okay.
And so sitting there, and it's like, I hear buzz in the room. Oh, the Roots are here. The Roots are staying here. It's like, oh, cool. The Roots. And then it's like, I recognize that guy. That guy's from the Roots. Oh, the Roots. And then I'm like, wait a minute. That fucking. It's like 8:30 at night. They're supposed to be live at Shane Park tonight. And it turns out like Common's flight. I guess they were opening for Common. Flight got delayed or something. They had to cancel the show. And so by the Roots, we're hanging out
If
there.
I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I absolutely huge fan of Questlove. Questlove is the shit. He's an amazing drummer, genius, the whole works. I go and I'm standing outside because they got like one of those vinyl trucks. They're selling vinyl records and shit for Third Man Records or whatever, Jack White's label. And there's Questlove, and he's about to cross the street, and I'm just like, Q, hey, yo, Questlove. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking acknowledge someone yelling my name. And I don't blame him, but I'm a fucking big fan. Like, if I could have taken a selfie with him, I would have. Like, I would usually leave people alone. But
Should we test his fandom, Easus?
I mean, I don't know how to
oh
tell.
no! Don't do that. No. I just respect him as a player,
Yeah.
and he's played with everybody. He's done a lot of shit with, like most artists will reach out to him and use him for direction and
He
he's
recently
one of,
wrote a book too.
he's one of the band leader kind of guys that can kind of put a whole thing together. So he's a special kind of talent. So anyway, Questlove, he was just like, no, not having it. And he walked across the street to a dope-ass Cadillac Escalade, and he was gone. But then we're sitting there for dinner, and Kirk Douglas sits down next to me.
Doug Kirkless,
Douglas Kirkless, yeah, whatever.
the old man.
And here was my dilemma, like right here. And we're sitting like at a bar, like a row, just seats at a bar. He sits down there.
Wait, didn't he die? Doug Kirkless? Am I thinking of the wrong
I
guy?
hope so. I mean, remember when they
Or
wheeled
is
him out
that
on stage?
Doug Michaelis.
No. Kirk Douglas, his dad.
Spartacus.
Yeah,
He's
when they-
dead, right?
I don't think so.
Not yet.
Remember they wheeled him out on stage like his daughter-in-law?
Yeah.
And he was just like,
Yeah, that was not too long ago, right?
and it's like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Really? Is this how we want to remember Kirk Douglas? Really? On stage. This is a totally different Kirk. Anyway, and I was like, fuck. I'm pretty sure that's him, but I don't want to go, hey, aren't you the guy from the Roots? And then we go, oh, motherfucker, you think we all look alike? And so I was in that position. I was just like, I go, I know you. He goes, probably. I go, are you in a band? He goes, I am. And I said, which one? He goes, The Roots. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it. He's amazing guitarist.
Tell the
for
truth.
Roots.
You didn't recognize him from the Roots. You knew
Yeah,
the Roots were going to be there. You turned around. There's a guy who looks like he's in a band. You're like, I know you.
No.
Yeah, you walked him into it, Mike. I know you.
Okay.
And I know that you walked
I will
him
give you
into it.
this. I will say you're half right. If I hadn't heard buzz that the Roots were staying at the hotel, I would have seen him go by and gone, he looks familiar, but I wouldn't have gone any further with it.
If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And so I got a selfie with him and posted that and blah, blah. He was a really nice guy. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm really sorry your show at Shane Park got canceled. And he's like, no, luckily it did, or otherwise I wouldn't be hanging out with great people like you. I was
Wow,
like,
that's charming.
So it felt good. I felt it was like, man, all that for me when all those disappointed fans at
Yeah.
Shane Park. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Sentiment. This is nice.
Absolutely.
Speaking of nice guys, hey, Anthony, Gabara, and the hottest sales staff in Oakland County are fired up about Zott Ford's summer sales event and the pimp-ass deals that go with it. Zott Ford has 0% financing for 72 months and up to $2,500 in rebates on select new Fords. Plus, at Zott Ford, you can lease the brand new 18 Ford EcoSport starting at $122 a month, or lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $137 a month. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
It was cool, too, because while I was there, I ran into Steve Galley, who you won't know, but from my Riff days, him and his wife Tina were there, and he's a photographer, right? And so anytime a Riff event was photographed, a party, Steve Galley would be the guy. He was the house photographer for the Palace for like 25 years. So, when you're in the back of the Palace, and they've got all those framed big-ass pictures up on the wall
Yeah,
around if you're in the
Or
corner.
the Little Caesars Arena.
Or yeah,
No,
whatever.
I'm just kidding.
But the
There's a
Palace, I mean, if you go back into some of those areas, where the suites and stuff, those are all, if you look at them, those are all Steve Galley pictures. And Steve was great because it was like, I could call him and be like, dude, Bob Seger's coming in tomorrow. I need pictures, and he'd just go through and print out a bunch of killer 8x10s that he took, or and bring them in. The Nikki Sixx ones I have upstairs. I'm like, dude, Nikki Sixx is coming in.
Sweet.
And so those are actual photos taken by Steve Galley when they played here in town or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that's got to be fun, traveling the world and getting access to these bands.
Hell yeah.
Blah. And I'm like, what do they give you, like 3 songs, 5 songs before they get your ass out of the pit, And he's like, 3 songs max. They'll let you in the pit for like 3 songs. It's like, get your pictures.
Yeah, if you don't have your shot after 3 full songs.
Yeah. And then it's like, get out of there.
How many rock star moves do they have,
Exactly. He goes, the worst was Britney Spears. I go, why? He goes, 30 seconds. He said, she comes out on
Not
stage.
even a costume change?
They give you 30 seconds with Britney Spears. And you're just like,
Yeah.
taking a million pictures
Because
at
she's
once.
concentrating so hard on her routine.
Right.
It's so choreographed and memorized.
Yeah,
She's like, it's distracting that guy right there.
Guy's weird looking and camera
Yeah.
flashes. Get him out of here. I'm like, 30 seconds. Holy shit. So, yeah, anyway, it was cool. It was cool running into him and his wife. And then the other thing that happened over the weekend, Jay, holy shit, man. Remember we had...
This is the best news of all. I love this.
Do you?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It is. Dave Landau, the comic we had in.
Yeah.
And
Guy who got thrown in the mental hospital for being too drunk. Like,
Yes.
what was the basis
I'm
of that?
trying to-
The jail was full,
jail
and they
was
just
full.
had nothing else.
And so
They just
they're
had to put him somewhere.
Yeah, so they took him to a mental hospital, and he got roomed with Reese.
Yes.
Reese turned out to be a werewolf.
Reese was convinced he was a werewolf, yes. And what did he say? What did he say? Like, can I have my own room? And they're like, no, asshole, you're in a fucking mental ward. Everyone has a roommate.
Yeah.
And how did that go? Was there a full moon that night?
There was at some point, like a week later or something, and Reese, was nude, howling, and all the full bit. Yeah.
And trying to bite
Yeah.
Dave as he's woken up in the middle of the night to his nude roommate howling at the moon, trying to attack him. And I think the people had to come in and like trank this guy.
Yeah, and they like stopped. They're like, should we let these guys finish or what? Are they banging? Because you got the one nude guy on top of the other guy.
And Dave's like, do something. No, we're not making love. Get him.
Yeah, Dave tells it better. You got to hear Dave tell it.
Yeah. He was fucking hilarious. We ended up having him on the whole show. I think we even went long with him. He was great. Well, after that episode where he was here, I talked to him for a while and was like, dude, you got to be doing a show. Because he was doing fill-in work with Anthony Cumia out in New York, when... every time Artie Lang would relapse or something, it was
Right.
like, bring someone in. They were shuffling different comics in to see who
fairly
worked well.
regular business.
Sure. And so I was telling Dave, like, dude, Jay and I would love to have you here anytime you need the studio, want to do something. He's like, dude, that's amazing. Thank you. He's like, obviously I want to see how this works out with Cumia first and whatever. And was like, yeah, obviously. So turns out he ends up getting full-time third mic gig with Anthony Cumia and Artie Lang. Since then, Artie Lang fell off the wagon. We've all seen the mugshot with that bulbous nose.
Yeah.
Ends up in the hospital, and they've now determined that he's not workable anymore. They sent one of their guys to the hospital and met with Artie, and it's like, dude, he's in a world of trouble right now, and the last thing he needs to focus on is doing a talk show. And so they've changed their logo. It's the Anthony Cumia Show with Dave Landau, and I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's second mic on this show now. And so I was texting with Dave, and I was like, hey, dude, I'm going to be in New York in a couple weeks. I'd love to come by because they built a beautiful studio in Manhattan. And I'm like, I'd love to come by and like see the studio and watch you guys do a show. And he's like, fuck yeah, when are you going to be here? And I'm like, well, it looks like Wednesday the 15th, Thursday the 16th, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, just let me know when you want to come in and, I'll take care of it. Well, you're good. And since then, we've gone back and forth, and he's dropped little things like, yeah, maybe I'll try to get you on the guest, to be a guest on the show someday. And I'm like, oh, that'd be great, hilarious. And so anyway, over the weekend, we're texting a little bit, and he says, hey, our booker, Allie, sent you an email. And I'm like, I'm not home, but I'll check when I get home. So I get home. There's a fucking email from Allie Lerner, guest booker for the Anthony Cumia Show and Compound Media. And she says, hey, Mike, Dave Landau says you're going to be in town and would like to come by the show, blah, blah, blah. I have openings for both days, the 15th and 16th. Tell me which one you'd like to be on, and then I'll send you the details. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, well, I don't know what time I'll be in Wednesday, so Thursday for sure I'll be there. Why not, Thursday the 16th would be great. She's like, okay, excellent, confirmed. With the show Thursday the 16th, here's the address, blah, blah, blah. She says the show starts at 4, goes till 6. If you're running late, don't worry about it. Don't worry about being on time. The guys tend to go on at 4 and bullshit with themselves for about a half hour before they bring the guest on.
Oh, Lord,
So who's the guest that day?
Lord.
Yeah, I know. Like, who's the celebrity guest they have on?
Right, who's coming in?
Bill Burr?
Dice?
Is Dice coming in? Bill Burr? Louis C.K.? Who's it going to be? What A-list celebrity is coming in studio? And I'm like, okay, looking forward to it. Allie, thank you very much. See you on Thursday. She's like, yeah, it'll be great. Blah, blah. And so I'm just like, so I text Dave and I'm like, hey, bro, am I reading this email right from Allie? Am I like in the studio like audience or something? Or because she's like acting like I'm going to be a guest on the show. He's like, no, I told him we wanted to have you as a guest on the show. And so, yeah, you're welcome. And I'm like,
Bag up.
oh, shit. Oh, shit.
That's awesome.
That's fucking, dude, in this line of work, that's the big leagues. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
you've
that's
been a huge Anthony guy forever, too.
Yeah,
so it's not like you're just like, oh, yeah, no, he does a pretty good show. Like, you love Anthony's show.
I do. And I wouldn't say this to his face, and I'll say it here, but I think of him as the most talented host in the country. Like, I can't think of anyone who's faster, smarter, wittier, quicker. His impressions are amazing. He's well researched. He's one of those. It's like not, he can battle with anybody, but he's not going to go into that battle unprepared. And I just had tremendous respect for guys that can do that. It's really fucking hard to do, and he's fearless. And so it's like, holy shit, I've seen him go toe to toe with the best in the business, and it's like, okay. I'm gonna go in there and
You're gonna argue with him, Mike?
Yeah, no, I don't want to argue with him. I usually agree with him, but boy, what an opportunity! I can't thank Dave enough for
That's awesome.
even mentioning.
So
crazy.
Thursday the
August 16th. Now I say that knowing that if and nobody said this to me, but I'm just guessing. If there's a bigger name that comes along, I don't know, Anthony's gardener, and wants to be a guest on that day's show, I imagine you could get bumped pretty quickly. So take it with a grain. But at this point, I am officially booked as a guest on that show Thursday.
Now I got you.
So that's crazy, man. How exciting. So hopefully I don't fuck that up.
No, you'll be fine.
You think
I'm
so?
sure of it.
Sure.
Absolutely sure of it. Isis, you sure of it?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
of
that'll be
course
good.
I am.
Yeah,
Like,
it'll be
I
fun.
should just send E. He could just go in there and tell jack-off stories and hooker stories. He'll kill. He'll
Right,
kill with those guys.
right.
He doesn't give a shit. Fuck yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, that's-
Big E has arrived.
Yeah, that's the lowest risk option. You're right, Mike.
Yeah, good point. We know he'd be on time, though.
He would.
He would be on time.
I'd be there too early.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, check out the DetroitCast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. The page, cool enough, it includes businesses owned by listeners. So take a look. It'd be great to support supporters of the show, listeners who support the show. Today's featured listing is Arnold Roofing. Free estimates, licensed and insured they are. They serve Southeast Michigan, specialize in roofing and gutters.
On the roof.
Their end game is customer satisfaction.
I love those guys.
Yeah, and we know they do
Keith,
good work
yeah.
because the roof over here and the skylights are perfect.
They are, and they do not leak anymore. So
Yeah, that bucket's
thank you.
there, but there's no water in it.
Bucket's bone dry.
I feel like someone keeps moving it there, and I keep kicking it away, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I was just trying to prove the point that it's bone dry.
It is bone dry.
Oh, dude, have you seen the the Looney Tunes blog, the characters ranking blog that came out?
No. This is going to cause arguments.
All right, not by me because I'm not a huge Looney Tune dude, but
you're
you are.
familiar.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely, absolutely. I know all these characters. Now, give me your top 5 before I even go down this list. This is just some dude.
See-
Anybody can do this, right?
See, this is
It's
gonna
just
sound-
a topic of conversation. So
Yeah.
you tell me what your top 5 are, and I'll tell you where this guy thinks you went wrong.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'm kind of a snob about Looney Tunes, and so my top is going to be like secondary characters, you know, shit like that. Foghorn Leghorn to me is the greatest cartoon character ever. So Foghorn Leghorn is my number one.
So he takes Bugs, even the bunny.
Dude, I know. See, it seems
Bee
so
Bunny?
cliche to say Bugs Bunny, right? Yeah, Warner Brothers' best cartoon character. Bugs Bunny is the automatic.
He runs the show,
He's
man.
the king, yes. But you know, I mean, it's
He's a wily bunny.
That's all, folks. I mean, the pig comes smashing through at the end of all of them.
Sure.
I mean, he's recognizable.
Pig's
But
in there.
I'd put Bugs probably at number 2. Bugs is, you know, Bugs has some amazing roles.
Yeah. Are
you
you
know,
not a D Duck fan? Daffy,
Mm.
Fudd and Daffy. They've had some fun, huh?
Yeah, I do. I'm more of a fan of Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
You know, Mexican Mouse. You know, everyone knows his sister. Like, I fucking love that.
You know
moment.
me, I'm a LePew guy.
LePew
is number 1 for
See,
me.
I didn't respect LePew until I
Yeah,
got
Pigeon.
older.
I love that guy.
I didn't like LePew when I was a kid.
You didn't
It took-
respect his game?
it took me getting older and understanding what kind of game he was running, what a serial rapist he was. And I mean, he's a sexual predator. Let's be honest. He just is.
Yes, it's
He will-
amazing.
He, like, the idea of no means no
Yeah.
is absurd to
As-
Mr. LePew.
As Doug might say, persistence breaks down resistance.
So what happened, dude? You nail that chick? Nah, she didn't say. Well, get back in there, soldier. You got work to do.
LePew, man.
You know,
he doesn't stop.
LePew is up there for sure
Sam
now.
the Sheepdog? Sam the Sheepdog is strong.
Yeah, Sam the
Right?
Sheepdog is up there.
Chicken Hawk? Henry the Hawk?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Okay.
George, what is it? George?
George P. Dog, I think
George
it
P.
is.
Dog, is he the one that gets his tongue painted green
Yes.
by Foghorn?
Okay, so these are all in there. But
What about
you've done-
is it Betty? Who's the fucking chicken with the giant glasses and has the nerd baby?
Yeah, she didn't make the top 20.
What?
I know who you're talking about.
What's Hazel?
Witch Hazel?
Nah, Witch Hazel.
Yeah.
I'd put Witch Hazel up there.
What about Michigan J. Frog? Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Well,
Send
he's-
me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
Isn't he racist now?
Michigan J. Frog?
I think Michigan
oh,
J.
they used the
Frog.
frog for the,
Yeah.
the, what do you call it? The,
So yes, I'm a huge fan of him. Huge,
No.
especially knowing that.
yeah, they have used him as that meme.
So he would come out and do the "Hello, my baby," like he'd have the
Dude,
cane
he was
and
kept
the
like in
top
the
hat.
shoebox, right? And
Oh,
the guy,
you'd open it and he'd be singing.
you'd open it, and if the guy was showing people, he'd just be like,
Right.
ribbit.
Yeah.
But when he was all alone, he
Yeah.
was a showman. A
Oh,
showman showman.
brilliant. He's
Yeah.
stage fright though. I mean, it gets
He
the
had the
best
high
of him.
step.
Oh yeah,
He had the top hat.
sure. The duck walk,
I don't think it was
the
stage
goose step.
fright,
It was-
honestly.
he called it the goose stepping, right?
I don't think it was stage fright. I think he was fucking with his owner.
For every time.
How about Marvin the Martian?
Where is the earth-shattering kaboom? There should be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Yeah, he's up there.
Where is my PU-34 space modulator?
I'll tell you who I wasn't a huge fan of. Sylvester and Tweety.
Yes, Tweety, dude.
Overrated as fuck.
Is Tweety a little homo?
Yeah.
Just a little homo sitting in there?
Obviously.
How about Granny?
Granny was a pain in the ass, too. Fuck her. And also, Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
I don't know where he comes in.
Overrated. Overrated.
He just
Yeah.
just doing the tornado spin. You know, I bet there's debate about how cool people think the Roadrunner and the Coyote are.
Yeah.
Like some of the Acme shit. Didn't that gig get old after a while? It was like
Totally.
it was the same fucking
Yeah.
gig. If one time Wiley could eat that fucking bird, you know,
Yeah.
it would have worked. But it was like, no, dude, it's Lucy with a football.
You didn't name a huge one. Yosemite Sam.
Ooh, yeah, I like Sam.
All right, so here's these official rankings according to this blog.
Remember
Right?
that one when Bugs keeps throwing the lit matches down the steps, loaded with dynamite on the boat? He's like, "Oh, you can't do that, Webbin!" He's going marching down there and grab the match.
Yeah.
Stop it! And Bugs was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, oh, classic."
That's Bugs' way, man.
Yeah.
He's something. Bugs number one.
Okay.
D Duck tied for number
Fuck
2
you.
with E Fudd. I think Fudd.
Fudd is coming in at tied at 2.
I think Fudd outranks Daffy, but I think he's top 5 for sure.
Would you like the hat, the hunting season? It's wabbit season, duck season.
Did I tell you about the time I ran into Chauncey Billups and he was like dressed like Elmer Fudd? I'm walking along the sidewalk in Birmingham.
He had the hat.
And dude, he had the fucking hat, the open Timberlands, you know, and just
good look.
It was everything. The coat. I mean,
Yeah.
the dude looked like he intentionally
Did he have
dressed
the
like
gun?
Fudd. He had no gun.
Yeah.
But he like turned around quick, like almost right into me, almost like bumped into me. I'm like, Chauncey Billups,
Mr.
dressed
Fudd.
like Elmer Fudd. All right, Fudd is number 2. Foghorn Leghorn comes in at number
wow.
4 because of the tie. Yosemite Sam at number 5. Wile E. Coyote number 6.
No.
P Pig number 7.
No, I'm not.
Hugely overrated.
He didn't wear pants, did he? Was Pig
No
pants?
pants.
I respect that, but
George P. Dog coming in at 8, which is
they like the outlier
probably
characters.
surprising.
That's not
man.
bad. That's not
Rocky and Muggsy at 9.
Yeah, great episode.
If my pal Muggsy were in this here oven, would I light a match and throw it
Yeah.
in?
Is that the one? Don't touch the dirty money.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That one with Bugs, when
Not
he keeps
sure.
spanking what he thinks is a baby.
Maybe.
How about the dogs? Yeah, let's get him. Let's get a butch.
Yeah, those come in. I'll get to those. Sylvester's number 10. Tasmanian Devil ties him at 10. LePew comes in at 12.
Wow.
That's just
Yeah.
absurd. Sam the
Crazy.
Sheepdog at number 13, who I can respect. Hector the Bulldog. Ralph Wolf.
Yeah.
Henry Hawk. That's his name, Henry Hawk, the chicken hawk. Witch Hazel.
Yeah.
Hubie and Birdie, 2 mice that fuck with each other. Michigan J. Frog at number 19, and then Roadrunner at number 20. Marvin the Martian at 21. Tweety at 22. Granny 23. Speedy Gonzalez number 24.
Terrible. Low ranking. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Racist is what it is.
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit.
He's Mexican, of course it is. If he
National
wasn't
origin.
Mexican, if he was from
It's national
Connecticut,
originist.
yeah, it sure is. If he was from Connecticut, he would rank way higher. He just would. Is that all of them?
That's all, man.
Wow. Not a terrible list. So did they give reason as to why?
No, they really didn't.
Yeah.
Just fucking, they scored them, and based on people's vote, I guess. But
Oh, we got to find out where this is posted because I
Yeah.
just want to read the comments of people going, "You son of a bitch! I will never read this blog again. How dare you have LePew at 11?" And have people just fucking kicking each other's ass
Yeah.
up and down. That's what happens on these things. Good list, not bad. Got a couple Tigers into the Hall of Fame over the weekend.
yeah, I
Chuck
didn't
Norris.
notice that in the local news. They barely covered that.
I kind of avoided all of
I
it.
did
You know
too,
what I mean?
man.
It was like, oh, watch live here. I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's okay.
Whatever.
That's all right.
No. Trammel, and Morris, deserving for sure. And the big news though was Whitaker. Whitaker was there, and people are woo, all that stuff. And I was reading some stuff about, is it fair to put Trammel in the Hall without Whitaker going in? And he did not do well the one time he was on the ballot. I got like 15 votes or something. And so they took him off the thing, and which is why they've got the modern era committee
Yes.
who looks at it now and to try to prevent that, going, you got to take into context, blah, blah, blah. That's how Morris gets in.
Well, it sort of resurrects them, right? Because I think under the normal rules, you hit the ballot a couple times, and if you don't make it in, you're done forever.
Yeah.
Like you're never to be allowed on a ballot
And
again.
they're
and that
brutal
modern era
snobs.
looks back and goes, okay, let's
Yeah.
think about this.
Well, you know.
That's how they both made it, I think, Tram and Morris.
I mean, I think of Morris as like he was the best pitcher for a decade, wasn't he?
Sweet.
I
And
mean,
the
he was
Twins and the Jays too.
I mean, what did he win? World Series with all of them, and was the ace. I mean, how do you? I don't know.
I think he was a real cocksucker for a while there, wasn't he?
But he had this mustache. That's got to make up some ground, you know. So anyway, Whitaker's walking around there. He was there supporting the guys, and they say he's fine. He's fine. And I wonder if him being as quiet as he has been, like he was just never a media guy. I wonder if that hurts guys' chances, or if they're just strict numbers people, you know. Anyway, fans were all over. There were even Hall of Famers there that were like, "You're next. You're next." I think George Brett said that to him. He was at a couple different dinners. And he said, they all give me the thumbs up. Don Sutton, Dave Winfield, Chipper Jones, George Brett. He's like, if it happens, it happens. And it's kind of cool. He remembers the first time he met Trammel. He was being transitioned from third base to second base. And they're like, did you go willingly doing that? He's like, fuck no. He wanted nothing to do with playing second. I was very upset. When they started working together, it was not magical. They didn't click right away. They had to work at it. We continued to work. We were just playing baseball. We loved it. We were just 18, 19 as individuals. We got better at what we did. It took years. By the end, many people said it was like poetry in motion. That's what the fans said. We never took it for granted. Tram and I took pride in our ability. We took pride in wanting to win. We summed it up as dedicated ball players. You couldn't ask for a better shortstop, and he was a gamer.
This is the longest standing double play tandem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
19 years. 19
Incredible.
years.
We were so spoiled, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't realize it at the time how good you had it.
Well, he was like they came in together. Like Tram was drafted right out of high school. He was in San Diego, second round, and Whitaker was drafted in the fifth round or something. And they like came in together, roomed together, all for years. They also started their first Major League Baseball game together the same night with the Tigers. Like their career is so tied together.
Didn't one of them stay 1 year longer? Didn't Tram stay 1 year?
I think Lou did.
Did he?
Didn't Whitaker? Because Whitaker holds the record for any player being on the same franchise, like 2,300 games for the Tigers. Nobody's done more
I
than
always
that.
liked Lou better.
Oh, yeah.
I was never a big Tram guy. Honestly, I love.
But I'm going to tell you why
I love
that is.
Lou and Chet. Chester Lemon. I love Chet, the way his fro came out under the cap.
Hell yes.
God, it was such a good
that
look.
giant worn-out mitt
awesome.
in center.
I love
Fuck
both
yeah.
those guys.
Awesome. And Lou was amazing. And, dude, when you're a kid and you hear the whole stadium, Lou.
Yeah.
It was great. Was Tram's acne an issue for you? Is that why you don't think of him as highly as you do Lou?
His acne was not an issue, but I always thought he kind of looked like a chimp. A little bit. Little chimp-like. No?
No.
I mean, as a little kid, I'm like, that guy looks like a chimp.
Yeah. Glad you said that about Trammel.
Dude.
What? Anyway, I was reading this other article that from like a year ago, and they were talking. It was like up on the ballot this year is going to be Morris and Trammel. They should get in. Blah blah blah. And they were saying, and the guy that wrote this from was not a local Detroit guy, but he's like, the career of Lou Whitaker looks even better with the passage of time, and so he's making the case.
You don't think he looks like a chimp?
Yeah.
See the chimp now?
Oh, I sure do. Is it the? God, this is a terrible conversation.
It is kind of the big ears, and I don't know, just
the forehead, eyes, the sunken eyes.
it's just kind of chimp-like, a little bit.
He did stay longer than Whitaker too.
He did.
96. Whitaker left in 95.
Fuck, I would have bet E's life that Whitaker played one more year. I'm shocked at that. I'd like to see him do this. Like if we could get a picture of him doing that, scratching his armpits. I mean, that would settle everything. But
Definitely. Throw some poop.
Oh,
Reach behind his butt.
and you
just
know he
throw
could.
poop.
You know he could.
Yeah.
On a dime. So
Scoop it to second.
so this guy's point, he's got all these people that were born between this decade, right? You're born here. So if you're born in 56 through 66, you would have been coming up in the 80s, 90s as a player, right? And so he's looking at these decades and he's like, going back to 1866, there's 20 players in, there's 30 players in from this decade, blah, blah, blah. And the lowest one is 56 to 65 with 12. And that's the year Whitaker would have been born. Those are the years Whitaker would have been born in Trammel. So he's saying it's underrepresented you know, it doesn't. There's not like a number that you have to be, you know, have in the Hall. So that's not it. But he said, you know, there's some guys that have been overlooked, and number one on this guy's list was Lou Whitaker, and he said, you know, there's no rule that you know, a number have to come in, but he says, I want to mention one player. That's Lou Whitaker, former Tiger second baseman. Most of us missed Whitaker's greatness while he was playing. His reputation was that of a good but not great player. There are reasons why. It was easy to miss Whitaker because of the key stats of his time, basically the only stats of his time, which we grew up with: batting average, home runs, RBIs. That's it. Whitaker hit 300 once over a full season. He never hit 30 homers in a season, only once top 25. His career high in RBIs was 85. These raw numbers made it easy to overlook him, just how special he really was. The more you look at the history of baseball, the more you understand how a player, how rare a complete player Whitaker really was. A player who gets on base, hits with some power, plays terrific defense, runs the bases terrific.
All around, man.
Durable, plays with intelligence, competitive fire is an uncommon combination.
Is there someone that you can point to and go, why him? Why not Lou? Like, there was always, with Trammel, there's always Ozzie Smith. Like, what the fuck, man? Ozzie Smith got in. Why not Trammel?
Yeah, but Ozzie won all the gold gloves, you know.
Yeah, I know, but if you look at his offensive numbers, it was like, dude.
Well, Whitaker was almost as big a pitching prospect. And I'll tell you, there's coming up in this little article here, there's a breakdown of like guys ahead of him in the Hall and shit like that. So he was almost as big a pitching prospect as he was, you know, anything. And then they moved him to when he got to Double-A Montgomery, he was moved to second base. That's when he met an 18-year-old shortstop named Alan Trammel. And since then, it's almost impossible to think of one without thinking of the other. So what about Whitaker? Their career numbers are strikingly similar. Whitaker, for instance, has 4 more hits than Trammel. He edged towards Whitaker more games, doubles, triples, homers, runs, RBIs, higher on-base percentage, higher slugging percentage. They were both dazzling middle infield defenders and superb base runners. They were also a team, a double play combination for the ages. It doesn't make much sense for Trammel to finally be getting in while Whitaker continues to be overlooked and forgotten. When you compare Lou with the second baseman in the Hall, his greatness is striking. His career falls short of the 5 players you would probably guess were the best: Rogers Hornsby, Joe Morgan, Eddie Collins, Nap LaHoy, and Charlie Gehringer.
Does that bother you how Rogers put an S on the end of it?
Yeah.
It's always bothered me.
I've wondered if that's a typo.
Rogers.
And they just went, fuck it, leave it. You know, they didn't have whiteout back then.
It's
so
crazy.
And so outside of those 5 that are obvious, you know, whatever, you could make the case that Whitaker was it, but there are 12 other second basemen in Cooperstown. You could make the case that Whitaker was as good or better than any of them.
That's what you need right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Including Craig Biggio, Roberto Alomar. You can look at...
Biggio's in already? Shit.
I know. You can look at it using advanced metrics like WAR, wins above replacement, and wins above average, the WAA, and measure wins above which measures wins above an average player. Whitaker ranks higher in both of those categories than Biggio, Alomar, and Ryan Sandberg. Whitaker had more homers, 244, than a dozen Hall of Fame second basemen. He scored more runs than 10 of them, had a better on-base plus slugging than 10 of them. He played 2,308 games as a second baseman for one team. That's the most in baseball history. He was on the ballot for only 1 year. He received just 15 votes, giving Whitaker such little Hall of Fame consideration is, I believe, one of the Baseball Writers Association of Americans' most obvious errors. And the Modern Era Committee was created to fix such mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. There's subjective shit like just how he dealt with the media. Like that was Morris's big thing, and that's what kept him off initially. Was he was a cocksucker, really?
See,
like,
I hate that.
I know writers hated him,
Yeah.
and that's bullshit. And so some of that, like Trammel, Alan Trammel, that's how it's truly pronounced.
Al
You've had it wrong all the time.
Sorry.
He was always the stand-up dude, you know, great guy with the media, you know. 100%. Nobody has a bad thing to say about him.
What about Louise Whitaker? He was right. You know, he was
But
just
he was, like you
he
say,
was like Barry Sanders.
He's a more quiet guy.
He doesn't like
know.
going to these events. He's going there to support his teammates, but you know, he's like, I much prefer to be out of the spotlight. You know,
Easier to overlook.
yeah, that's too bad, man. You would hope that people in the position that are going to throw people into a Hall of Fame
Oh,
wouldn't
they're
be
going
looking
to
at
wield
stuff
their
like
power, Mike. Those
Jack
baseball
Morris is a
writers.
dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Pete Rose gambled on baseball. Okay, well that doesn't change what was done with the Red Machine and those 70s Reds teams. I mean, think about Johnny Bench and Tom Seaver and Joe Morgan and Pete Rose. Pete Rose is just he was an amazing baseball player. Oh no, he doesn't go to the Hall. But Okay.
I barely remember Pete Rose, to be honest.
I mean, you don't remember seeing images of him sliding
Sure, I
in
remember
everywhere.
seeing those images, but
yeah, I mean,
you're older than me, so you probably remember
fucking
a
asshole.
little better than me.
No, you just see, you look at the highlights, and you look at what they did and the wins and World Series, and it's just like, it's a no-brainer. I don't give a shit if the guy's quiet in the locker room.
The Pete
Who
Rose
cares?
thing's totally different, but yeah, like,
Is it?
Lou? I mean, well, it's a totally different argument than like
Yeah.
a Lou Whitaker, why you would be overlooked.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just Lou's been overlooked. Pete has been exiled.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I'm sure Lou will get in at some point. I thought that was going to be really hard, but it does seem like a lot of people are kind of rallying for him now, which would be really cool to see them, him go in there as well. Mm-hmm. Something was going around Facebook over the weekend, Jay, and I don't know how new it is. It might be a couple weeks old. Sometimes those Facebook stories, people are sharing shit from 4 years ago, but it was important that I showed you guys this. Do you have that, E?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so nice to know that when the PSAs that we've been delivering over the years are getting through to some people. Our most famous one, the tree falling.
Yeah.
Look up, locate, and then step to the side.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. Well, I'll look up, locate, and step to the side, and we're fine.
Simple.
Yeah. So there's a Wisconsin couple. They're about to get they're getting
nuptials.
engaged. Yeah. They're doing their nuptials. At this point, they're unfianced.
Yeah, they're
And-
not getting engaged, dude. They're getting married.
Oh yeah, nice drinking beers right before you walk down the aisle. He's got a
Miller
Miller Lite in
Lite.
his hand. I don't know what she's drinking, but not a bad rack. Anywho, they're sitting here at a picnic table. They're taking pictures. One of those, it's like, let's get some shots of you by the water.
Sure.
And you won't believe what happens, but our PSA works.
Really? They
wor-
looked up, located?
There's like a 44-second one, I think, right? Or is this the one? Okay,
Here.
go ahead, play it.
This has it.
Those Nike shots.
In my Under Armour camouflage red sweatshirt, having taken
Look up, locate, and
Step to the side.
shit!
There you go.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Those Nike
Now-
shots.
in my Under Armour camouflage red sweatshirt.
That would have ruined the wedding, dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't help her.
I was just going to
He
say,
doesn't
do you
help
think
her.
he's got to put an arm around her?
Dude, it's every man for yourself, I guess, huh, buddy?
Wow. I mean, when push came to shove, in the moment,
He didn't help her at all.
he ran.
He did.
He
He
made
left
sure
her
he,
ass sitting there.
He was holding on to his Miller Lite. He didn't leave that
They didn't
behind.
drop the Miller Lite.
But boy, oh boy, the wife. Now, there's something else subtle in this video that is even more disturbing.
You know what surprised me is how alive that branch looked. Don't you think of like branches
It's
that
a
fall just
great
rotten
point.
as shit? That looked like a really nice.
That's a great point. I mean, for all we
Vital
know,
branch.
there was someone up there sawing it. I don't know. But you're absolutely right. Usually those dead ones.
yeah. Look at the vitality in this branch when it falls.
Did you want to play it? I'm sorry.
yeah.
Did you,
Go ahead.
Where were you? Okay.
Those Nike shots.
In my Under Armour camouflage red sweatshirt, having taken
Grab your wife, dude.
Dude,
No.
every man for himself.
Oh my God, dude. He just was like, he didn't even like go, honey. He was just like, oh, tree falling. Out.
Zero thought of her.
Now,
Zero.
I want you to pay attention to the father-son in the background.
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah, I
You watch
see
this
him, yeah.
video, yeah. So you're gonna
What are
play
they,
it again. You're
Walking
gonna,
out of the lake? What
you're
are
gonna
they
play them.
doing?
You're gonna play this again, and this might be the most tragic moment of the entire video.
Okay.
Those Nike shots.
in my Under Armour
We'll get to the
camouflage
Nike Shocks, too.
In the Under Armour in a minute.
having taken
Look at him go. He's out. Oh! The old man in the background.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's happening here. This guy just,
Yeah.
his moment to appear like a man, like you hope as a child, that kid is gonna be scarred for life. He just watched his own father
White.
from 100 yards away from a tree falling, go and get wobbly kneed and go down. Am I right?
I think he might have slipped on some loose gravel as he
No,
was
no, no.
accelerating.
Don't
I
give
think,
him that.
I think his first step, it's into some loose gravel or mud. Yeah. He loses his footing.
I think it's more that. Go ahead, play it.
Those Nike
Just can't
shots.
get over
in
how
my
this
Under
guy gives
Armour
zero fucks about his
camouflage
wife.
red sweatshirt.
All right, bitch, see you later. Whoa, I am gone. Fuck her.
That fall is awesome.
Dude, he
Sweet.
just falls. He doesn't slip on
He
shit.
slipped
He
on something.
panic fell. He saw a
Oh,
tree
shit,
go
dude.
down.
He takes a step, right? He takes a step forward.
And his kid's going, Dad, oh, fuck. Like, dude,
awesome.
if honestly, if you panicked like that and Russell, man, he saw you, wouldn't they would have to lose respect
There's
for
a
you.
lot to unpack in that 12-second video. That's interesting.
Yeah. Should we go back? What do you want to touch on
The
first?
Nike Shocks. What do they talk? What do you suppose they're talking about right there? Because I
Well,
have an idea.
Okay, Nike Shocks are the shoes,
And then
right?
It's like this Under Armour
Under Armour.
sweatshirt. What do you think
So,
they're talking about?
She's probably going, oh, when I met this loser, all he would wear out was Nike Shocks and Under
Yep.
Armour. You think so?
It's either that or it's when we moved it in together, we had to like get rid of all his dumb shit. You know, he
Dumb
had these
shit like
old
what?
Nike
Meredith?
Shocks, Under Armour sweatshirts.
And my Under Armour
Yeah.
sweatshirts. And maybe that's why she gets fucking absolutely. She's lucky he didn't hold her there for a second before taking off
'Cause
running.
he's livid. He's being disrespected on video.
Yeah.
At the time the tree falls.
See if there's anything else in here that we've
missed.
Yeah.
Did you note the vitality of the branch though? It's
Oh,
striking.
I did.
What
I
made
want to
that-
see if their discussion here is really what we're thinking, if that's what they're talking about.
I think it is.
Because she's kind of got a snarky look on her face. He looks like a jockhead.
Yeah, she's like, God, did I change you for the better?
I'm so proud of myself.
You're so right on that.
Nike Shock.
And my Under Armour camouflage red sweater.
Camouflage, of course, by the way.
I'm having taken
What was he about to say before the tree interrupted him? Fuck, that is a very vital tree. Look at the branches.
I
There's not even
know.
dead
It's
limb-
beautiful.
There's not even dead limbs coming off it. It looks like it's properly been pruned over the years. You can see the cuts
Sure.
that have been made. I mean, this is a well taken care of tree branch. Why did it fall?
Almost makes me
What
wonder
does-
if it's a setup. If this whole video is a
I
setup.
know.
All right, Isis, let's hear one more time
Okay.
what he's
What
talk-
is he about to
Yeah.
say at the end here?
Nike Shock.
and my Under Armour camouflage red sweatshirt. I'm having taken
Having
Fuck! I can't. I don't know. I want to know though.
Guy falling.
and then the pussy collapsing in the background. Ah! Ah! It seems like something you wouldn't be discussing while the wedding photos are going. Like, your Nike Shocks.
No, you know what it
and your-
is? It's the videographer going, so tell me about when you guys met, and
Yeah.
did you guys
that's
move in
exactly-
together? How's it going?
Oh yeah, man! I moved in right away as soon as I started hitting that shit. Bang! It was like it made more sense. It's easier to crush that puss by being in the house all the time. So that's what I did. How do you feel about surfing, Jay?
It's cool. Yeah,
Like it, respect it.
absolutely.
Have you done it? Tried it?
I have, yeah.
Have you? Were you successful?
Yeah,
Stand up.
I've
or-
stood. I've not done it super well, but I was really good at it on her first try. It was Gabrielle.
Really?
Yeah, Gabrielle. Could
I believe that.
be
She's
a
got good
decent
balance.
surfer.
It's hard to get from like getting on your knees is the first thing. Being on all fours, doggy style, if you will. But then pop it up to your feet.
It's the pop up.
It's the pop. It's all in
it's
the
the one
pop-up.
motion.
And I'll tell you right now, you young surfers that are going out there going, I fucking can't even catch the wave. It just goes rolling right over me. Push the nose of your board down. It'll grab the wave. Then you can worry about getting on your knees and popping up. It's hard to do. But when you see people that are really fucking good at it,
Yeah.
especially in person, like when I visited Derek in San Diego, like when he was moving there, it was like, dude, you're going to San Diego, I'm buying you a surfboard. And so I bought him a surfboard as a going away present.
Uh-huh.
And he would go out there and he'd go out there 2 hours before work, first thing in the morning, and just sit there and ride. And he taught himself how to surf. And It was
Yeah.
cool. And so when I'd go out there, by then he had like 4 boards and shit. He was
Yeah.
just a few blocks off the ocean. And I'll tell you what, man, like we go out there and it's just like, it takes me 20 minutes to paddle out 50 yards, because you're fighting against the current waves coming in. It's just it's fucking really tough to do. It really is. And I remember we're sitting there, and my sister was in town, and me and Derek were sitting on the beach. We got our boards in the sand like pro surfers. And there's this hot chick sitting next to us, and this dude, and he's got his board in the sand too. And he's hanging out with this chick, and then he's like, all right, I'll be back in a minute. He grabs his board and just kind of jogs out. I'm not kidding you, dude. He paddled in, 20 seconds. He was 100 yards out, catches 4 amazing waves, just murders the fucking water, and then comes jogging. He was back in 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, that's how it's done, pro. Holy shit. So these guys can be incredible. And there's a kid, Koa. My name's Koa Smith. How you doing? I was born in Hawaii.
Yeah, I was gonna say born in Hawaii for sure.
White dude, and he was at the right place at the right time and caught maybe the greatest wave ever. I don't mean one of those wall waves, but like there's this spot in the western shore of Africa, and So he's on his surfboard. He's 23 years old, and it's off the coast of Nambia. 120 seconds he stayed upright nearly for a mile. 2-minute ride for a mile.
Wow.
And caught 8 barrels. They've never captured anything like this on camera before. He's got a fucking a mouthpiece with a GoPro attached to it that's filming, and then there's a drone. His buddy's filming from a drone up above. To see this, it's like, whoa! Look at the wave I caught, bro. Look at this shit.
8 barrels at this place called Skeleton Bay.
Skeleton Bay, bro.
It's one of the longest waves in the world, and it gives you the opportunity to get a wave of a lifetime. So this is it right here.
How cool a life would this be?
The point is about 3 miles long, and this is towards the end of the wave. Usually when you're on the wave,
Isn't that dope, dude? Look at that.
you kind of like no one sees it because it's so long. But right here, I was fortunate enough that there was my buddy flying the drone, Chris Rogers. And this wave was crazy. It just kept going and going. This is barrel.
So you just end up like 3 miles down the beach.
Yeah. Yep.
In surfing, it's crazy to get a barrel that's longer than
10 seconds? 5 seconds.
And this particular wave, I got
2
8
minutes.
barrels on. I think it was 2 minutes long.
Shit. It's awesome.
Such a crazy feeling. Right
thought it
here,
was-
I
thought
thought
it was
the
over
wave
here.
was kind
Not
of
doing
over
much with
already.
it?
I don't think I
Is
even
he?
would have kept going if I didn't see the drone right here. I was like, oh, I might as well just keep surfing the wave.
So he thinks it's over.
Do a little cut back in the whitewash right here.
Sure.
I almost fell.
Sweet.
That would have been horrible. And then the wave starts going again.
Dude. Yep,
This
back
was the
in the
most
barrel.
critical part of the wave. You can see the
Chandelier.
chandelier came down and I disappeared. I thought I was done for sure. And then the wave just kept on going.
That's so cool.
Isn't that awesome?
By
Jesus,
now, I'm
man.
just like, just let me out of here, let me out of here. I don't want to fall.
Can't believe how far
Did
down
all
the
hard
beach he's
work,
going
and I
to be.
just
I know.
wanted to, like,
A
seize
mile.
the
He's a
ride.
mile.
That's so cool.
So he thinks it's over. That's 4
And then
barrels.
I can kind of see that the wave's ending right here.
No,
And
it's
then
not.
it's celebration time.
Hell yeah, bitches.
I was lucky that that there was a drone because the wave was so long I couldn't really remember exactly what happened.
Dude, look at that beach. They said this is like the Skeleton Bay or whatever.
Nambia, huh?
Said it's a
Or
2-day.
Nabia. Nabia. Nabia?
Namibia.
Namibia.
Namibia, sorry. What was I saying? Nambia?
Nambia?
Nambia, Jesus. Namibia. So they said it's a 2-day flight from Hawaii to this spot. And then he's got to drive out.